welcome back. So it's been a few days now. The diary has been ridiculously busy. Here's the latest in store. I'm going to do a few batch videos because, like you, I go onto YouTube and I end up in some sort of wormhole of YouTube. And I see the questions that get asked, and I also see the responses that come from that. And the idea of the channel is to make it as simple as possible, eliminate the nonsense aspects of it, and then go from there. Like, try and give you a foundation that's a little bit more solid and you understand it a little bit more, so it's not completely out of reach. So I wrote down a list of questions that I saw being repeated, and so those of you that are part of the channel for a long time or a little bit more advanced, bear with me because I do have to reach the newer people also. And so in today's video, we're going to be talking about how do the spirit world communicate and how we make it very difficult, very hard. And the idea is that it's intelligent and simple. So firstly, we've got to lose the idea. We've got to kind of eliminate it from our mind that the spirit world are like a physical body. A lot of people are saying like they walk in or they enter from the smoke and all that kind of stuff, and that may work for you. That may be something that you've developed, and my way's not right, and equally your way's not right. But I know the energy can be used a lot more efficiently, and through that efficiency, you can maybe communicate better, more in depth, more evidential, and longer in time if you're looking to progress to demonstration. So in basic terms, what happens is an idea is formed in the mind. This will be through the neuro pathways of how an idea is sparked within the mind, and that will take a series of channels that your brain has learned to function from a very young age. And then through development, those channels will develop new neuromotorways for you to get there quicker. And so everything happens internally. There's a few more videos coming up with that will lead off of the back of this one. But that's basically it. What happens is the idea starts. So I think I have a mum. And what we do is we eliminate I think I have a mum. And with the mum, the spirit world will cloak the idea, just cloak it with an influx of information. And that information will lead down different pathways, different neuromotorways within your mind, allowing you to offload this information. The moment you question or you get involved in that, you will go back to your very natural neuro pathway. You'll go back to maybe your analysing way, your overthinking way, your doubting way. And whatever that is, that will take you down the pathways that you're very used to, the ones that you've grown up with. And that's when the communication can start to fail or start to go wrong. However, if we just follow the lead and the spirit team with the cloaking of information, and we just express, so we keep our ego at bay and all our insecurities at bay, we can just start to unfold this story. I'm aware that I have a mum, and this mum is da-da-da-dung, and she passes off, and she loved doing, and her story is, all of that stuff, we can just flow with it, and that's basically how they communicate. It's just a cloaking of an idea that is sparked within the mind of said medium. The argument will be like if you're working abroad. I do a lot of work abroad where I require translators, and I don't understand the languages of the places I'm going, and that is mostly German, French, Italian, Spanish, Portuguese. I don't understand the language, and actually I prefer it that way, where I don't get involved in the communication now. And so I will never hear the mum speaking Portuguese, Spanish, Italian, German, French, whatever it'll be, because it's within my mind. So the idea is sparked within my mind, and then I follow it down. I'm the instrument, therefore I don't have German, French, Portuguese, whatever it is, for that neuro pathway to go down and unfold in that way. So I have to have it through a different sensory experience. So it will never be sound. Because I don't understand. So it may be clairsentience or clairvoyance, you know, feeling, seeing it, smelling it, tasting it, knowing it, rather than audibles. She tells me this, she tells me that, because I don't understand the language. But because it's in the spirit world, and the spirit world are a world of intelligence that's a universal language, that universal being, it will just adhere to what my mind knows, what the instrument knows. Then they'll cloak the ideas that need to be spoken out loud for said recipient or audience. So as you can see, what I'm talking about, how the spirits actually communicate, is very simple. It's a very simple process. The problem we have is we give it this element of dilution. We're trying to hear them in a foreign tongue. We're trying to force the idea that they're cloaking somewhere, and that usually happens when we have a format of some sort, or, you know, like, I usually feel the spirit world, or the spirit world usually do this. Is the worst thing for your mediumship. You want to leave the door open. You know, mum may want to communicate through this idea, and so they will cloak it through that way. Whereas you're forcing the issue to come this way. I usually see my communicator, so they have to then cloak the idea of a vision for you to see it in the imagination of how you think this lady looks. When we don't really need to know how the lady looks. If you're delivering the essence of the communicator, the daughter or the son will know that that is mum that is stood there through the idea that mum has placed within your mind around cloaking that communication with the information and the evidence that she knows that her loved one will validate for you. Imagine how free the communication could be if you just followed the idea. If you followed it down, like I said to you at the start of this video, I end up in the YouTube wormhole just as much as you. You click on one video and that leads you to another, then another, and before you know it, you're 3 hours in and you don't know what you're watching. You're like, where on earth am I going with this? That's exactly how you want to hand your mind over to the spirit world, with the potential wormhole that you could end up in. Not like, well, I'm only going on this channel, or I'm only watching this, or I'm only doing that. It's what you're giving to the spirit world. This is how I work. I need your age. I need your passing. I need your hobby. I need. When really you don't need anything. The true essence of mediumship is to hand over, put the ego to sleep for a couple of hours, and allow them to unfold their story through the channels of your mind with the least amount of resistance there. So I know a few of you won't like that, a few of you definitely don't like what I say, but this is a more free way of working. It gives you an element of freedom, and most students that I ask, or I speak to, or they ask me, this is what they want. They want an element of freedom. You know, they want to be good, obviously, but they want the freedom of mediumship, and this is a stepping stone towards that freedom. So I hope that made sense to you. For those of you that are new to the channel, if you are new, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell for all the upcoming videos. For those of you that are regular on the channel, give me the thumbs up, because we all know that helps the video, if you liked it, of course. Engage in the comments, and I'll see you all in the next video.